Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Pastor Matt back with another daily dose of defense. Now today what I really want to get into is the loss of our mind and the loss of thought within the church. And where does this come from? In other places I'm going to refer to this as the anti-intellectual movement or anti-intellectualism in the church. Now the church in America was widely started by Puritans. Puritans, they were intelligent people. They wanted wisdom to be taught to everyone. They desired for everyone to know who God was and to have this defining moment in their lives with God. And so the Puritans, they had this desire to know the scriptures, know what they taught, know who they were in God, know all of these things. Puritan Cotton Mather said, ignorance is the mother not of devotion, but of heresy. Right? So we need to know what's in the Bible. We cannot be ignorant to the Bible, otherwise we're going to fall by the wayside. And after the First Great Awakening, at the end of the 1700s on into the 1800s, we see three major Great Awakening, or three major revival movements. We have the Second Great Awakening, Charles Finney's revival, and the Layman's Prayer revival. That takes us up to the year 1858. Now in this time, they were going for the quick, accept Jesus now, accept Jesus now, accept Jesus now, and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as somebody is going behind and teaching them the ins and outs of our faith. Why is our faith reasonable? Why is it logical? Why can we understand it? How can we understand it? Instead, they were giving this quick, short, yes, I accept Jesus, and then being left with just that. Okay, Jesus. And that left room for the Mormons to move in the 1830s, the Jehovah's Witnesses to move in the 1880s, and the Christian Scientists to move in the 1860s. At the same time as all this is going on, you start having the evangelical church withdraw from society. It's withdrawing from societal bounds, from societal norms. It's no longer trying to be a force for good. It's now just letting pluralism take over and take charge. And this is when we get people like Immanuel Kant and David Hume. Who would go on to say that miracles are not even possible, as though he could see everything that had ever happened. So this is the keystone of the problem, is that anti-intellectualism crept into the church and started taking people off of the church rolls one by one, until we ended up with this lack of knowledge in the church, lack of foundation with these people. And this lack of foundation would cause people to fall away and to fall into these cultic groups and to not know who God is. And this further retreat from pluralism has damaged the church in that it no longer allows the church to be taken seriously in the marketplace of ideas. And if the church is no longer able to be taken seriously in the marketplace of ideas, what we see is what's happening in our society today, to where the church has an opinion, but everybody gets to laugh it off as though it doesn't matter. So over the coming weeks, I'm going to look into this anti-intellectualism and what is the real problem and where do these problems come from. And as we look at where these problems come from, we're going to see that there is a need for us to know who Jesus is and to have a good working relationship with Him in our lives. This will help us to know that our faith is reasonable, rational, and can again be brought into the marketplace of ideas so that people can come to faith in Christ. This has been a daily dose of defense. Thank you for watching. God bless.